Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Revolutionary mod. Last time around we had a complete disaster as the Cherokee was able to cut off Nathaniel Greene and his advanced army up here by taking over Virginia and burning down the entire province. Trying to reshape it in the architecture, I guess, of the Native Americans. Not very great, and I think we're going to start off this episode by trying to take that back. We also have the British coming a bit too close up here, so I'm wondering if they're going to bring down the big army. And I mean, there's no way this little French army is going to go out to intercept them. Hopefully, maybe the enemy will attack the fort. Probably not. They'll probably pass and go for the Iroquois territory, in which case the fort will try to reinforce. I think they were in range. Barely within range. George Washington, he's still trying to build up this province and keep it under control. We might have to abandon it if the British actually take that, because then George Washington finds himself isolated. So he could instead then try to move back this way. Anyways, this is what we're going to do today. We're going to try to take this back. I'm pretty confident that I will be able to take down Charleston, which will open up for me to take over most of this. But we'll have to keep an eye on the Cherokee, because they're lying in wait there in the, what is this? The Shenandoah Valley, maybe? Or is that higher up, I think? In Virginia? Anyways, they're hiding here in this kind of mountainous region right here. And now we should go to battle. So, I don't want to leave the place totally undefended, but we need a lot of troops, and I'm not going to be able to bring the general. I want to take back this province as soon as possible. I don't want to leave it in the hands of the natives for too long, so I'm going to send all these 5 and only leave the Baltimore Dragoons to defend Maryland. So yeah, we'll start off with that. If we have time, we'll go ahead and do this battle as well. So they gain a bit of garrison, which boosts their number twice. It puts it up twice what they had, because they had about 600 men after the battle, I think, when we fought them, or something along those lines. Or maybe 800, because these combined make about a little more than 500 men, 600 men. Yeah, they would be about 600 then. This time I know what's going on though, so I should be fine. It will just add on to this disaster if I send these guys forward and have them destroyed as well. Just, yeah. But I doubt it. Stuart Butterworth is worth his weight in butter. And yeah, that's not very good, is it? Right, let's go into battle, shall we? Right, pretty standard formation. I put the mid-Atlantic, or not mid-Atlantic, but the continental, like, line infantry, the normal troops, in the center, and then we put the light regiments on the sides. We put Thomas Harley's regiment on the right, and Pennsylvania Rifles on the left. I think Hartley's is a new unit that we haven't seen before, so we'll just go ahead and take a closer look at them. That's how they look. And we can see the command structure, if it weren't for the fact that they're possibly hiding in a bush. No, they're not. There they are. Right, with that said, let's go ahead and start. And we're gonna advance on the natives. I wasn't gonna use the Baltimore Dragoons, But it seemed that they turned up as well. They have lost a few of their men, as they were the ones to move up to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, to take out those South Carolina Dragoons. And they lost a few men doing that. Kind of recognize the field, or I guess a lot of them look the same. We've got the biggest concentration of enemy troops right here. And it's a mixture of gunners and other Native American troops. I'm sending forwards the Dragoons because I quickly here in the beginning saw that they had a small unit. So it's a small unit of Warrior Society, which are sitting here in the corner. So I thought I'd go ahead and take them out before they become a major problem. Alright, before we get too close, the light infantry is actually within range, but I'll not try to provoke the enemy as of yet. We'll go ahead and concentrate ourselves towards these guys. Alright, they're sending forwards their cavalry at this point. But they're gonna stop to fire. And I was about to say we didn't lose anyone, but we lost 5 men in the center regiment. I was hoping we could save the fire of the main line infantry, so we could kind of drag these on to have these fire then actually fire by rank. We've got their musketmen actually advancing on us. I wonder if our guys are ready. It looks like the center regiment might just be ready. Right, they opened fire. They got quite a few. Maybe it's best to hang back just in the beginning, because we do want to see off a lot of the enemy cavalry, and we do have the range. Now, right now, the enemy musketmen do have the range on us. You know what we'll do? We need spikes, don't we? So why not deploy the spikes? And I mean, we could possibly see about Hartley's moving forward. We are losing quite a few men here. Once the spikes are done, we'll reorganize a little bit. So we'll have you advance, and we'll make sure that it goes into 3 lines. Then we'll have these two actually move behind the spikes. You will move to the side. Dragoons will take care of that side. As these advance, Hartley's regiment can move closer, get a better angle onto those musketmen. And now we're starting to push down the volleys on the enemy. And I think we'll make short work of those Native American, those Indian musketmen. I think we'll hold these guys, hold fire with them, and wait until we can possibly get the enemy to come forward. We are losing quite a few men to their musketmen, which isn't great. I think we'll hold fire with this one as well, hoping that we can drag the enemy into our fire. I don't know why I can't see these guys at long range. Oh, they're charging the Baltimore Dragoons. That's not great. Right, now they're coming at us. Oh, we're not going to be able to get all the volleys off, are we? Guys, I ordered you to fire at will. If you could just... Is it one? There we go. Probably like one guy not fully reloaded. Right, the dragoons are attacked by Chief's bodyguard. The riflemen are being swarmed by that garrison. They'll need to pull back. This unit's getting swarmed. We broke down this unit, but now our line's in the center. Ah, crap. That one gave way, that one gave way. This one's holding. We'll hold it for now. The Chief's bodyguard was overrun by the Baltimore Dragoons, so that's good. Unfortunately, the rifles were sent away. Seemingly, we weren't able to actually kill the Chief. Would be nice if we could actually get him. It wasn't him, so it's part of some other group. The regiment in the center is... Oof, it's gonna get slaughtered, isn't it? Alright, our line infantry is back. We'll try to reorganize ourselves. Enemy musketmen are back. Hartleys will pull back. We'll see if I can get the dragoons back here. Looks like we're possibly looking at another disaster here. I wasn't expecting so many of them to actually stand. And I shouldn't have held my fire. I should have let them fire at long range. I mean, on paper, the Native Americans got really poor... God damn it. We're not gonna get them out of there. On paper, the Native Americans got really shit morale. But when we actually face them in battle, I mean, these guys have lost tons of men, but they still fight on. Now we dealt with those guys anyways, and I think the Lancers just kill themselves on my spikes. Over here, at least. Oh, the square held. The Native Americans pulled back. Alright, all units remain on the field. We're gonna reorganize ourselves, and prepare to face what remains of the Native Americans. It was a bit touch and go there. But it looks like I could possibly very well pull this off. I'm gonna have the dragoons harass the Native Americans. And then Hartley's regiment is harassing them as well. And maybe we can force them to flee that way. We'll have the rifles come in. Okay, they're gonna draw their line like so. We should respond by drawing our line in a similar fashion. In a similar fashion. I mean, at this point, they're still confident. But they've lost so many men. There's one unit. Ah, it's a retreating. Medicine men. Might it be like the medicine men or some other unit that lends like a morale bonus to the rest of them? I think we've got the bastards now. We will advance. So the line infantry will advance. Hartleys will follow. being in the flank. We've got the dragoons over here. We've got the rifles back at it, ready to avenge their fallen brothers. The dragoons, we'll have them move ahead already. And then they'll be ready to come in at the flank. I want everyone to actually be able to fire at the same time here. Dangerous repositioning as the armed tribesmen. Oh, they're all kind of falling apart now. Yes, victory. A bit touch and go, but there we have it. Victory. It only took about 10 minutes, so we could definitely fit a second battle here. Here we have the statistics. We lost a third of our force, leaving 600 men. But most importantly, none of the Indians are alive, and we cut them all down. Highest loss is for 2nd Maryland, but they stayed on the field. They lost half of their unit. Least is for the Baltimore Dragoon, lost 3 men. Highest killer goes to the 2nd Maryland as well. I think though some of this might be added on afterwards to account for all the fleeing troops and stuff. So I guess they avenged all their fallen brothers by running after the enemy and bayoneting them. But there we have it. We took back Virginia. Unfortunately for us, though, the entire province was burnt down. So I'm gonna have to spend quite a bit of money to rebuild it. Which is a bit unfortunate. But that's the way it is. We're not gonna do that, though. We want to, since we've already done quite a bit, we want to jump into the second battle as soon as possible. And ooh, there's actually quite a few of them, and this is quite a large battle. We outnumber the enemy though. Question is if I should move this. No, I'm not going to move this to a second one. Let's go through this. Let's attack and take down Ulysses Kitchen. Right, so the battle takes place at the exact same spot. Or you can see the road is exactly in the same kind of layout, and the like where we our deployment zone is kind of the same. Just that we're down in the south instead, so it's a lot greener. But otherwise, I mean, the topography is roughly the same, and like it looks very similar. There isn't a oh, you know what? The pen is here. So it's the exact same position, just that it's in the south. And it looks a little bit different. Right. I've deployed more or less the same way as last time. I'm focusing more on the right, since I'm planning on attacking through the heights. And so we only have the Mid-Atlantic Continental troops and the 3rd Dragoons. Got the cannons, veteran Minutemen as cannon guards. We've got the general, then we've got the New Jersey battalions, Posey, and then 3rd New York, and then the Light Brigade consisting of 4 units, where it's Polanski's regiment, 2 units of Philadelphia Light Infantry, and the Pennsylvania Rifles, and furthest to the right we've got the Virginia Dragoons, and with that we're gonna start. So right off the bat I can hear a lot of maneuvering over on the British side. Doesn't look like they're planning to attack. Could be that they are going to attack once I start breaking down their artillery, which we already start. I think there's a good chance for me capturing their high ground, and I want to move my troops forward to better positions up on the ridge in preparation. Right now my center is a little bit weak. It could definitely, you know what, we put Posey as reserve behind New Jersey just in case. Then we're gonna have 3rd New York and the Light Brigade advance up into that field and hopefully take it, clear out the British, put themselves along the wall and just cut up the side of the British flank there as they slowly send regiments up that all probably gonna bunch up here and get killed. As a lot of that is happening and the British are focused on that, we'll advance the main line to pin them from the front. And that's the plan. And right now the British are just reorganizing kind of chaotically, which is, I think, I mean, it's the AI, but it's partly very confusing to watch. So it's kind of hard to plan when they're all over like this. We've got the North Carolina Highlanders, just as I said that disappear. They do have a lot more artillery, and with me moving so hard on the right has led the enemy to actually come in contact with my troops over on the left, and very quickly we kind of slaughtered their tribal mounted auxiliary and sent them running. They do still have Carolina Light Dragoons, 3 units, 2 smaller squadrons and 1 big unit. Are pushing down a lot of fire on us, but we are in return responding pretty well. And in the long run there's a lot more troops on the hill than there are troops down there. Native musketmen seem to be firing also, so that adds on to it. Sending over the Light Dragoons, not entirely sure what they're doing. My artillery seems to have stopped firing. These Carolina Light Dragoons, I'm not entirely sure where they're going. But now they're running into the New Jersey regiments. Could be that they just want to lay into flank on this one. These guys are a bit exposed out here. We're breaking down the enemy cannons, and as we are doing that, Dubois' regiment and the Light Brigade have arrived. The enemy is now redrawing their line, as you can see. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put Dubois along the fence line, and then we're gonna have the Light Brigade move up. Well, along the stone wall. Dubois is gonna be along the stone wall, while the Light Brigade is gonna be along the fence line. As the enemy is kind of reorganizing like this, I will reorganize my men as well. So we'll make their lines a little bit shorter, and we'll bring up Posey right behind. It's gonna be close fighting over here, because we got a big unit of armed citizenry right on the field. I think my dragoons will be able to fire first here. Plus the Pennsylvania rifles opened up on them. Dragoons open up, and then they will move as these guys are going to be torn up from the flank. They did manage to open up on the dragoons, but the dragoons going to counter-charge. Right, the British was sent off over there. They're kind of cornered now down here. Dubois and his men moving up on the wall. It's a bit of concern right there. The dragoons drove the armed citizenry right through into... We're gonna charge here and try to get rid of these. A lot of British troops are disappearing on this side, which hopefully will allow me to march up like so. Rifles will now switch, move to this side. And it looks like the British are not going to be able to push through, so Posey is going to move to the flank over there. And let's see, cannons are not firing. Now you're firing. We're going to put the Minutemen also to plug the gap here. There's not going to be a British breakthrough, so I'm not going to be worried about putting canister down. British cavalry goes for Polanski's regiment once more. No surprise there. The Virginia Dragoons sew off the light infantry and those natives. They can push back around and see about getting those cavalrymen. There's a lot of smaller companies running about down here. I'm surprised we haven't completely broken them already. I'm gonna bring the Mid-Atlantic now in. So we're gonna close in on all sides on the enemy. We've got the just a rolling wall of fire going in upon the enemy. The militia regiments. A lot of the enemy is falling apart. We've made kind of a half circle around them. I'm kind of surprised that these guys are still standing. And the Virginia Dragoons kind of shot their own. A lot of enemy troops retreating at this point. Looks like we very soon will have a entire collapse of the entire British army. And within about 10 minutes we can now see, oh, there's one unit left. General's bodyguard deciding to go behind 3rd Dragoons, charge them from the back. Not gonna work too well. The native auxiliary is back. I don't think for very long though. And there goes Ulysses Kitchen. And just like Mike Kitchen, he's finished. So let's... oh, there we go. Right. Very quickly we were able to take down... I mean, the battle against the Native Americans. For some reason, the Native Americans fought a lot better than the British. They had less men. It was a more even fight. But then again, a lot of that, I guess, was also the fact that I hadn't such an advantage. Like, I didn't have experienced troops. The Native Americans just came from winning a fight. Even numbers, a kind of a morale advantage for the Native Americans as they had the general and so forth. With that said, yes, let's go on to the campaign map and take a look at what's happening there as we are capturing the Carolinas, the south and the north of Carolina. And here we have the results of that battle. I only lost 280 men. And the enemy lost everything, of course. Or we killed everything as well. So it combined... I mean, the numbers are probably not accurate. Because most of the British troops actually fled from the field. So a lot of this has been added on after the battle. So I can't really make a judgment out of that, but damn. 280 men lost against an army of 2,486. That's pretty good odds, I'd say. And Carolina falls into our hand. And soon, what do we get down here? Marion's Rangers. Then we get like, I think we already had those. South Carolina Lights. That's a new one. Marylanders we had. Polanski's. So the unit we got down here, 2nd Regiment of South Carolina Light Infantry, pretty good, 55 accuracy, and 120 range compared to the 110 for a normal unit, so that's good. We'll use the money to replenish the army. I'm gonna build this and then I'm gonna replenish this, and that's about as much money as I have. I'm wondering about ending turn right through the video because it might draw in enemies to actually start a fight. You know what? I'll leave it here, and for next one, I need to see off this one before I can just go ahead and claim the rest of the south. So this one needs to go in one shape or another. So probably what I could do is I could send a smaller force under the command of the general to take this, while another force, big enough at least for these to surrender without a fight. So we'll just take over everything. And then it's over here. We'll deal with the Iroquois that's set up here. And then it's if the British are going to cross the river, or if they're going to stay on their side, continue to build their force. Unfortunately, Griffith Watson is nowhere close to come in and support this region. I think with Clifford, the French, and like a few garrison troops drawn in here and there, we stand somewhat of a chance to hold against the British force. Even at this size. This is probably at least 4,000. I could imagine that it might be more. It could very well maybe go up towards 5,000. But we won't see until we actually meet them. With that said, we had a pretty good episode, I'd say, and as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!